My biggest problem with your argument is you think the community is lazy and that's why they don't play the superior build. It's not true at all. I don't think... Alright, real talk, you don't have to think my build is better than that build. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I do think the community is lazy in overarching way, and the important argument that I wholeheartedly believe that's not about me and not about my build. I believe the community needs to get over this idea of doing 1-button build, 0-button build, and that sort of idea being inherently superior to builds that are more quote-unquote Souls-like, okay? Because let's face it, the game's nothing like Souls-like. We just use that as like a pejorative to refer to a game that actually makes you play it. Actually makes you contend with it and engage with it and use a few extra tools to use more than one ability. And I think those same players, instead of trying to drive the developers into turning this game into PoE1, would be better served with just playing PoE1. You just either get with the program or GTFO. Back to the other game. Because I don't like... And again, people are entitled to have the opinion they want, but the math on this changes when what starts as a very small minority of super vocal people on Reddit, most likely, begin to convince people that they don't like the game for reasons for which they may or may not agree with, but everybody just starts jumping on the bandwagon because people love the drama and love the bandwagon, and then some of the streamers pick up on it because it's going to get a lot of views and clicks, and of course several streamers are just going to make content that is going to be appealing to the masses, and the masses start going in one direction, and the pendulum is swinging so hard in that direction it almost can't be stopped, and it reaches a critical mass of people who are complaining about a game that they don't even really know why they don't like it, and they can't reconcile the fact that they don't like builds that require you to actually play and focus a little bit at times. That's what I'm actually pissed about. This whole thing about my build and stuff, this all doesn't matter. This is me being, me being fun, quirky, me challenging my community, me getting a big head. It's whatever. What I actually care about is this, because they're gonna fucking ruin the game if they convince the developers that that their vision is garbage and they don't allow the developers to see the vision through. Just because the developers have a vision about a game and you don't like certain aspects of it doesn't mean the entire vision is bad, and doesn't mean you're entitled to make them do a complete 180 and fucking ruin it for everybody else. And by the way, furthermore, I wouldn't care if the actual vast majority of players were all on the same side of this. The thing is, I don't think it's true, because I know I've been on this earth for 40 years, so I know how psychology works. I know how people are. I know how echo chambers exist. I know how they proliferate, and I can see exactly what the fuck's going on. It's actually a very, very small contingent of the player base who truly feel like, fuck the vision. I want PoE2 to be PoE1. Just better. Same thing. I wanted them to make the same game again. Just give it better graphics. Let's just do it the same exact game again. Almost nobody actually feels that way. Most people think that it's pretty cool, the difference in game, and they're just all kind of jumping on this bandwagon. The lack of PoE1 leagues is exacerbating. Yes, and the developers are 100% at fault for leading on the player base to believe that they were somehow going to prioritize two separate games when they didn't. And the developers deserve every single bit of scorn for that. 100%. But that is a totally separate issue. To somebody like me, I don't care. I would like all parties involved to be happy. That doesn't give leeway for other people to come in and start trying to fuck with the direction of the game in like major foundational ways. I happen to appreciate the direction this game is going. I would like to see them continue in many ways. Is the direction they're taking the game with all the different tools available to players, all the different support gems, the fact that it's restricted to only one support gem per skill, I love that. Makes for some very interesting and compelling choices on setting up a build and all the different skills. The fact that, and I think it's good that we're not sitting here automating everything under the sun. I think it's good that Maniforge Arrows is not in this game, because as cool and hip as Maniforge Arrows is, it's really kind of dumb. Because it just completely automates everything you're doing, and so you're not even really, like, it's just giving you all this outrageous amount of power for nothing. It's not all bad, but it's overall, in the grand scheme of things, I think it's not a good mechanic. Because it's just complete overkill on the automation and turning what would otherwise be an interesting, you know, play style into just making it completely redundant, and all you do is just press one button and like a billion things happen. Do I feel like doing other cool builds this league? I mean, I'm pretty happy with this build and how it's working. I mean, I'm contemplating trying to get a weapon swap flicker strike into this build. That might be the next thing I do. Glad you said that, Snow. I love the base game of PoE2 significantly more. Well, I'm glad you do. Yeah, please speak up. If you think I'm saying something good, then tell me, because, you know, obviously I'm no different than a developer. If all I hear, I don't want you guys, by the way, to just agree with me because, oh, he's my favorite streamer. Anything he says is the best thing ever. No, fuck that. I want you guys to tell me what you actually think. I want you to devolve yourself from the echo chambers, whether it's this echo chamber or that echo chamber. Actually tell me what you really think so I can get a better understanding of where the community actually is. I love Fub and Rue and many others. I feel like they were being too impatient for the game. Well, you know, the funny thing about that is I was actually, for the first time, actually listening to that, what was it, Rue 2's YouTube video with Fubgun, and they're saying a lot of things in there that I did not agree with. And yeah, I got the impression that I don't know Rue 2. I don't actually know his modus operandus, I think it is. But I do know Fubgun pretty well. I knew him before he was famous. I know what kind of gamer he is, and it is bewildering to me that he would give up so quickly on that, because he claims that his primary reason for giving up is that there's like no loot, but everything I understand about him, it screams to me that that would be the last thing that would be like the last reason he would not play a game, because not enough loot drop. The guy's a grinder extraordinaire. Grind 100 apothecaries across 1,000 maps like it's nothing, when he doesn't even care about them anymore. He just does it because, for the love of the game. Lion Cat says, I don't know when some people said PoE2 bad because they made... Yeah, it really gets under my skin when like a massive swath of players just echo what a streamer says, or they base their opinions almost entirely on what the actions of a streamer or what a streamer says. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world, and I would think the same exact thing about any of you guys who would make such decisions based on what I said. If I quit right now, or like I would say if there's somebody in this chat who is like thinking about quitting, and then they just magically decide, no, I'm going to keep playing this game because Snoo says it's good. No, fuck that. Like, make your own decision, hear the arguments, take it all in. Don't just hear what one individual streamer says and then base the entirety of your experience on that. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's so easy for me to say because it's something I would never do. Like, I would never wish that upon myself. I would never go to another streamer and base entirely on my decision to play a game based on what they say. So why would somebody do that with me too? It should never happen. The needle can be moved ever so slightly based on, you know, this and that and one individual streamer. But this idea that somebody's just going to assert outright, Bubgun said he quit because there's no loot, so I'm going to quit because there's no loot. The end. Close the Bible. Like, get the hell out of here with that. That drives me insane when I see people say, and I've seen it multiple times. We go chat again. A lot of legit issues that are popular, that they get lumped together with gameplay that is really popular. You see it in point 1, how everyone enjoyed the pacing in Act 1 to 3. Yeah, you know, that is a thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Arnold. You know, it was one of the craziest experiences. Everybody got their ass handed to them in Acts 1 through 3, and everybody was talking about how awesome and amazing it was. And then suddenly, like, a couple days later, people just, like, completely turned on that. Like, what even is that? It was like, as like an outside observer, I didn't even know what happened there. Like, how could people, like, be so happy about how brutally hard the game was and then suddenly, like, no longer happy about it? Like, I guess they just thought that, oh, I've been playing it for 12 playing hours now. I'm no longer happy about how hard the game is. I'm tired of it now. I'm suddenly tired of it now. Reddit went apeshit about having to actually play the game, then content creators smell these reviews. That is kind of how it started, yeah. No, really. Day one, first 12 hours, nobody's affected by the comments on Reddit because they don't mean anything yet. 46 hours later, Reddit is on fire. The streamers are still saying they have fun, and then one by one, they all turn their head over to the prevailing winds of what's going on at Reddit. The pendulum swings, and then it's in full force motion the other way. And then all the streamers are talking about how bad the game is because it's hard, when literally 24 hours prior, they were talking about how good the game is because it's hard. It's like being in the freaking Twilight Zone. The first 72 hours of PoE2 access. That's a lot more to say on just streamers chasing views and pleasing, doing everything they can to please their constituents instead of actually, like, voicing their real opinions on things. I did quit because I did not like the way the game was going with the meta update, but it is my opinion. Good. I believe you. That's a good reason to quit. Most streamers that have big communities should think of their words because those words have consequences. I don't think streamers should be compelled to have to... I don't think anyone should be compelling a streamer's speech beyond that which you would put on a regular person. Obviously, if a streamer is suggesting violence on somebody or something like that overt, then that is bad. Or you could say that's even worse than like if a regular person randomly shouts in a forest saying, you know, condoning violence or whatever. But no, like streamers are totally entitled to mouth off in any way they want. I'm entitled to mouth off on this topic, so is anybody else. You guys are getting me in this funk, though. I'm kind of ranted a lot yesterday and ranting a lot today, and then, like, today I'm also tired because in a good way, like, I actually, like, walked a bunch, went outside, did sightseeing and stuff, but I'm, like, mentally tired. Getting me in a little bit of a funk here. I want to get back to enjoying the game, which I actually do enjoy. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to grinding.